What is up, you guys? Champagne Marte back it here, dab. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Champagne Marte, your favorite drink, and if you are already a part of the Champagne gang, welcome back, big head. I missed you. So first of all, let me just say, clearly you can tell by the title, I am very pregnant. Big mama over here, if you can't tell, okay? I'm in my whole third trimester, so I felt like it was much needed for me to just come on out and address it, because I've been posting it, but I haven't said anything, which is very much weird. I've just been in my head a lot these past couple of months. Not only have I been wanting to protect my family and my pregnancy, but I just kind of felt awkward about opening up about my pregnancy. I don't know, I was just in my head. I was telling myself, like, you know, I didn't really want to be that vulnerable. I got to 2K subscribers by being myself, by literally being authentic, being true to who I am, being vulnerable. Like, that's what you guys love me for. So how dare I just be like, you know what, I no longer want to be that. I'm taking it all away. That's not really fair to you guys. Like I said, I was just in my head, so please forgive these. And let's move forward. So this video is going to be about my first trimester symptoms. Let's just get into it. Also keep in mind, this is before I found out I was pregnant. So if you want a separate video about how about my pregnancy reaction and how I felt, I can give you that separately, but this is just specifically majority of my first trimester symptoms. So let's get into the video. So this is gonna be TMI, but like I said, this whole video is pretty much gonna be TMI. If you are a part of the Mean Girls crew where it's like, oh, that didn't happen to me, that could never, oh, I would never put that on social media. Well then, girl, don't watch this video. My first symptom was a yeast infection. Girl, I haven't had somebody's yeast infection in years. So you can imagine how pissed I was. I do not play about feminine hygiene. Don't play with me, period. So for me to get a yeast infection, I was just like, ding, ding, ding. Something's off here. It's like, the is going on? Like, this don't happen to me. This does not happen to me. That was the first week of pregnancy. So I just knew, like, never did it cross my mind that I was pregnant. First of all, nothing about my pregnancy is normal. Nothing. And we could talk about that another time. I feel like the second one for me was always wanting salty snacks. Like, I craved, the place that I worked at, they had a vending machine full of snacks. So my fat ass was snacking like nobody's business. Like, I was up at that vending machine 3 to 4 times a day. By the way, not normal for me. I usually bring in my snacks and it's usually something very healthy, like some fruit, yogurt, I don't know, a gallon of water, but never vending machine chips. Like chips are not my vibe. That was another symptom. Craving salty snacks, specifically chips. And I specifically wanted salt and vinegar chips. And I wanted jalapeno chips almost every time. And I craved peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every morning. The weirdest thing ever. Next was bloating. I experienced a lot of bloating. It never crossed my mind because in my mind, I was about to get my period. And there were a lot of like symptoms in my mind that were related to my period. I was PMSing, or so I thought. So I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Like me wanting chips, me being bloated, you know, blah, blah, blah. Period's coming. It did, actually, it did. And that's another story. Anyway, emotional. I was super emotional. Like, I was so embarrassed about how emotional I was. And I didn't too much notice it in the beginning because I am and have always been a sensitive girl, but I've never been down for a cry baby. I don't just sit around crying about everything all day. But while I've been pregnant, I might cry over just about anything. I'm not gonna lie. Breaking out. I was breaking out so bad, and I might like insert some pictures here or here, just somewhere on the screen. My breakouts were so bad. Like I said, you probably see the picture on the screen right now, but the breakout was too bad. And my skin was so dry, so it didn't make sense to me. Like, nothing was adding up. For that whole month, nothing was making sense. But did I ignore it? I absolutely did. And you know another symptom? Denial. Because I swear to you, that should be like the first, if you're ever in denial that you're pregnant, that should be the first symptom and sign that you're pregnant. I was in such denial that it should have been illegal to be in that much of a denial. Oh, always thirsty. I was always thirsty. It's changed now. No, I am always dehydrated still. Another story, another time, whatever. I was always thirsty and my mouth was always dripping of saliva. Like, I mean, not to the point where it's like hanging out of my mouth or anything, but it was just like salivated up all the time and it was very annoying. Yes, I did have to spit in a cup because I know when you were going to ask me that, I did multiple times and it was disgusting and annoying to me because I couldn't figure out what was going on. Another big, I feel like the biggest sign for me that, okay, seriously, like something is truly off and it's not a game anymore, was when I got a cramp so bad that it woke me up out of my sleep. It was like this uterus stretch. It felt like period cramp times 10, but it literally just felt like my uterus was literally being stretched. And that's exactly what was happening. My uterus was literally being stretched, like being pulled, because my beautiful baby was growing in there. Headaches. Now, I don't know if I said this already, but I was the kind of person who used to drink a lot of water. Like, I was the gallon of water girly, okay? So don't say I was getting headaches because I didn't drink enough water. I did. I drink a lot of water, actually. A gallon of water, actually. So for me to be getting headaches was crazy to me. Like, to the point where I didn't even want the lights on around me. I'd have to put my head down when I was at work. And I was getting dizzy. I was out of breath, and my head was just hurting so bad. Food abrasions. I could not stand food. The only thing I could stomach to eat almost like every single day was watermelon. Watermelon and water, which it's kind of double water because watermelon contains water in it too. So eating watermelon is just like drinking water. So I was technically drowning myself, but I was eating watermelon and I felt like that was the only thing that could slow down my nausea. Which brings me to nausea. I had severe nausea. ¿Tú entiendo? Severe, okay? To the point where I was throwing up 2 to 3 times a day. Every day at that toilet like clockwork. Throwing up my life. Like it was, whew, and it's low-key coming back, so I'm mentally preparing myself for that. Oh yeah, food abrasions. I could not stand the sight of any fast food. I don't care if I'm driving and I see fast food, I'm ready to hurl. Couldn't look at it for too long. Didn't want to smell it. Hated the kitchen. Oh, I know the bathroom hate to see me coming because the thought of the kitchen, the thought of cooking, I couldn't even be near a pot or a pan. Like, oh, it was just such a turn off for me in the first trimester. Oh, I was glad when that was over. Did I say fatigue? Did I say pregnancy brain? Pregnancy brain if I didn't. Yeah. Fatigue? If I didn't, then yeah, like, again, y'all know me. High vibrational, big energy. I was so tired, I barely wanted to get out of my own bed. It was so hard to do my simple morning routine. It was a doozy for me. What was I saying to y'all? Where was I? Vivid dreams. My dreams were so out of control. And don't get me wrong, my dreams are always out of control. But my dreams were literally out of control to the point where I'm like, okay, this is too much for me. Why am I dreaming about cheese fries chasing me and I'm trying to like get away and they like poured melted cheese on me? Very much so weird. Because who gets chased by cheese fries? Sensitive nose. Like I hated the smell of my own self. And my hygiene routine is very basic and simple, but very much so like a girly girl. But I had to stop all of that. The smell was just pregnancy brain. Wait, I feel like I said that so many times. Now that I know I said a bunch of times. My breasts were not sore. Usually women will say they know they're pregnant when their breasts are sore. My breasts didn't get sore until I was 13 weeks. So for the whole first trimester, that's really probably why I never knew that I was pregnant, because my boobs did not get sore. They got itchy, like really itchy. And I didn't notice them increasing in size until I couldn't fit my bras. But again, like that kind of started to be toward like 13 weeks. I found out I was pregnant when I was like 5 or 6 weeks, one of the two, 5 or 6 weeks. Like when I would wake up, they'd be tender. When I go to sleep, they'd be tender, but they were never sore. Like I could touch them and be fine. I could take a shower and be fine. Like the water, nothing affected me to the point where it was that serious, because it wasn't. I think I told you guys I had dry skin. If I didn't, well then dry skin and brittle hair. Crazy for me. My hair felt like it was breaking off. It was always dry. Even my prenatal vitamins could not save the day. Yeah, and I think that's it, y'all. So, I mean, from reading my list, that's all I remember. That's all I got. If you're waiting to know the gender of my baby, he is a boy, if it's not obvious because I said he. I do plan on doing like a get ready with me, pack my hospital bag, what's in my hospital bag, that's with me, and labor and delivery vlog. That'll be really exciting for all of us. But let's wrap this video up. It's been long. My mind keeps drawing a blank because I really don't feel good and I'm tired, but I love you guys so much. Like it up, share this video, and I'm gonna see you guys probably later on next week. I love you and good night or bye or something.